Hello everybody, welcome back to Penny Dreadful MTG, my channel here. Today we're playing some more Historic. So what we have today is a not entirely brew, but a slight twist on an old favorite. So this is Sultai Dredge, and Blue-Black Dredge is already a pretty not super popular, but a reasonably popular deck in the format. It doesn't make up a huge part of the meta, but it's definitely a deck you see, a decent amount. What this deck is doing is splashing green, which that deck actually sometimes does anyways, for Insidious Roots, which is a new card from Murders at Karlov Manor that I absolutely love. This is a card that's much harder to make work in this format. A lot of the best combos with it, like Oval Chase Daredevil and Underworld Cookbook, or Carrion Feeder and Gravecrawler. Some of the best stuff is not legal, and also like Cat Oven is legal, but for Historic it's the Cauldron Familiar is nerfed, so it can't block, which makes it a lot worse. We still may end up playing some of those decks at some point because I do love this card, but what this does is whenever a creature leaves your graveyard, you make an 0/1 plant and then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control, plus all of those plants tap to add mana. So it works really nicely with the plan that the deck is already trying to do, where you are putting a bunch of creatures, you're milling a bunch of creatures and putting them into play. So Narcomoeba, Prized Amalgam, 2 Bloodghasts. This might seem a little weird that we're only playing 2. I actually could see playing 0 just because your land count is really low in this deck. So sometimes it can be a little awkward to bring back. And as I think I mentioned in another video, it's a little bit awkwardly positioned in this format. There's a lot of exile removal, and there's a lot of 3 toughness creatures, especially in Blue-Red Prowess. One their main creature, 2 of their main creatures are 1/3s, so it's a little awkward. You play Creeping Chill to combo with Silver Smoke Ghoul. When I first added the roots, I was unsure if I was going to be able to fit this package in, but I was able to trim stuff and make it work. I think this is important enough that it really should be played. Let's see. And then we have 1 Haunted Dead to get some, you can mill over this to clear some creatures out of your hand, and this also triggers Insidious Roots. So then to do all of that milling, we have this set of cards. 4 Glimpse the Unthinkable, mill 10 cards. This is the best card in the deck for sure. It's pretty crazy. And that combos really well with Founding the Third Path. So on turn 2, if you have them both, you can play the Founding the Third Path, immediately play Glimpse, and then mill yourself for 4 the next turn, and then even flash back the Glimpse the turn after that. So really, really good together, those 2 cards. Collective Brutality, a card that I've played a good amount. It's both good to get wraths out of your opponent's hands, maybe disrupt a combo deck, and also obviously to discard things in your hand that you'd rather be in your graveyard. And then 4 Otherworldly Gaze. This is the other best mill card in the deck. It's kind of like an innocuous common from a few sets back that turned out to be really crazy in graveyard decks. It's like Dream Twist, but you actually get to choose which ones you mill. So really powerful card. 4 Stitcher Supplier, and we're playing 1 Rebel Belt Maverick as our last mill enabler. I mean, it's Surveil 2, so it's not the most powerful, but the thing that is good about it is that it puts a counter on something, and more importantly, it's a card that for 1 mana triggers Insidious Roots. So I could definitely see this not being correct. Maybe something like another Merfolk Secret Keeper. Is that what the card's called? Yeah, Merfolk Secret Keeper, the card that mills 4. Might be just better, but I'm going to try this out. Mana base is fairly straightforward. One thing to note is that 1 sacrifice this deck, I think, has to make. I might be able to change it, but the card Wonder, which is... Here, let me pull up the card Wonder. Oops. I was looking for lands. There we go. When it's in your graveyard, if you have an island, creatures you control have flying. This is a pretty common card in Dredge. It's really powerful to give all your things flying, and can just kind of fly over decks that are jamming up the ground. I don't know if we can fit enough islands into this mana base to make it work. you know, you might be able to play 4 Breeding Pool, 4 Watery Grave. It might be enough, but that's a really painful mana base. So I ended up cutting it, and you know, we'll see as we play. It's something worth keeping an eye on, whether we feel like we really, really miss that, and that maybe it's worth trying to, you know, play a more painful mana base in order to have access to the card Wonder. So that's the deck. Pretty excited about it. You know, I don't know that it's better than Blue Black Dredge by itself. You know, I do think that Insidious Roots does, you know, this deck struggles a little bit sometimes with just not doing explosive enough things. Like, you know, Dredge does reasonably explosive things, but sometimes, you know, like you can just be a little clunky. You know, you put a Bloodghast in and a Prized Amalgam and a Narcomoeba, you know, and then the next turn you maybe put a Silver Smoke Ghoul. It just can be a little bit slow. Whereas this, if you have this in play, like your turns are going to be very explosive. Now, you have to kind of play this on turn 2 and then start doing your Dredge thing. So, you know, that part of it can be a little bit slow, but, you know, I think it's worth it, or at the very least, it's fun. So we're going to give it a fucking shot. So we'll be back for round 1. Okay. Game 1 of our historic event. Looks like we're probably against Blue-Red Prowess. I'm going to keep this hand. We have 2 glimpses, which is obviously awesome. Ooh, things are being a little laggy right now. Creeping Chill, obviously not a great draw. We'd much rather have milled that, but we will see. Balmor. Okay, Balmor is a little scary because this is the card that can kind of... Silver Smoke Ghoul, also not what we want to see. But let's see what happens. Let's mill ourselves for 10. Okay, we hit a Narcomoeba. Yeah, Balmor is tough because A, it like makes them kind of go crazy, and the trample is definitely something tough for us. Yeah, all right, so they're going to attack for a bunch. One thing that does help is our Creeping Chills to gain us life. I'm going to keep a stop on my upkeep to decide. We can you know, we want to keep in mind that we can flash back these otherworldly gazes. Ooh, do they have a land? Oof, and a Reckless Charge. Yeah, this is a really fast draw for them. So they're hitting us for 11 here. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can block. Doesn't do all that much. But, yeah, we'll draw for turn. I think we're pretty dead here. All right, Creeping Chill. Put them to 10. Did we even mill a Bloodghast? Oh, we do have a Silver Smoke Ghoul. All right, so we can at least keep Prized Amalgam back to block. No attacks. Put this stop. Get 3 more Prized Amalgams. Uh-oh, why didn't they come back? Oh yeah, they come back at the end of this next turn. Okay. Because Silver Smoke doesn't come back till the end of the turn. So on upkeep, I am going to want to dredge Otherworldly Gaze, I think. Oops. All right, well, they have 8 damage now. If they have another spell, we're dead, but if they don't have another spell, are they dead? I mean, this is 12. They're not. Okay, so what do we want to do here? How do we win this? All right, Collective Brutality's in our graveyard, so we can't draw that. So what I'm thinking right now is we have a Creeping Chill in hand, and you can just cast this card. What are the chances we draw an untapped land versus what else can we do? I think that our best out is drawing an untapped land. We drew a tapped land. Okay, fair enough. Well, they have the reckless charge, so we know we're just dead. Although they have fiery islets here. Oh, okay. So we're in an awkward thing where they have fiery islets, so they actually don't necessarily have the 3 mana needed to cast the reckless charge, but that's only relevant if we put them to 1, which means we have no blocker. Well, I guess we can have a blocker with a silver smoke ghoul, although we go to 1 in that case, and we're just dead to the Balmor. Yeah. I'm not sure what our out is here. I think we're just dead. Okay, I guess our only out here is to otherworldly gaze into a creeping chill, I believe. Oh. Narcomoeba. Does that do it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, we're still just dead. All right. Whew, man, that was really close. But, oof, we lost by 1 point. Couldn't have stopped. They can still attack for 1. Man, that was a really close game. But that was sweet. That was a fun matchup, just a full-on race. So, sweet. All right. You know, that was as fun as you can have with a loss, but we'll be back with round 2. Okay. Round 2 with Dredge. Let's see what we got. Yeah, seems like a good hand. We will keep. No roots. I do want to do the roots thing, but it's fine. We can go turn 1 Otherworldly Gaze, turn 2 Founding into Collective Brutality. It'd be really great if we get to kill something and eat a card in their hand, but ooh, they're mulliganing multiple times. Always a good sign. Especially a good sign because either it's a fair deck that's mulliganing or it's an unfair deck that's trying to mulligan to a broken hand, and Collective Brutality is pretty good against that. Oh. Are they also Dredge? Looks like they are. I'm going to give them a nice. Okay. Okay, so I think this is kind of close. There's some argument to cast our Collective Brutality and try to hit a glimpse from them, but I think we're better off just doing our own glimpse. All right, we hit a Creeping Chill, we hit a Narcomoeba, hit a Prized Amalgam, and a Silver Smoke Ghoul. Okay. Am I Otherworldly Gazing? No, I'm not. I don't think. Collective Bloodghast. Oh, they're just casting a Narcomoeba. Cool. Okay. So, we mill. Creeping Chill. All right. Bring back an Narcomoeba. Cast Creeping Chill. Cast Creeping Chill. And then let us Collective Brutality. All 3 modes. I think. Yeah, I think we do on all 3 modes. Let's kill their Narcomoeba, drain them. All right. They don't need to be fucking impatient about it. Okay. Take Sovereign's Bite. Ooh, they have an Ashiok in hand. That's kind of scary. It's pretty good in the fucking mirror, but we're also in really good shape here. It's just a little too late for them because our Silver Smoke Ghoul is going to come back. They did. All right, they did hit a Creeping Chill, so they get to drain us for 3. Okay. But yeah, so Ashiok exiles our graveyard. All right, but what we're gonna do is so they mill 4. All right, they hit an Archamoeba. Our graveyard gets exiled, but we're gonna upkeep Otherworldly Gaze, and then we still get to flashback Otherworldly Gaze with Founding the Third Path. All right, no blocks. Oh, we just have them anyways, I think. Right? Okay. Main phase. Okay. I guess drawing a Stitcher Supplier is fine next turn. Narcomoeba goes into play. And then everyone goes at them. I think we 3, 6, 7. Yeah, we had lethal anyways. I don't know what I was doing all that for. I just was being. I really wanted to do the stuff. It's not bothering to do the fucking math. All right, 1-1. Nice to win in the mirror. Obviously, us going first is pretty critical. Plus, we had a glimpse. They didn't. We had like turn 2, Founding Third Path plus glimpse. I mean, that's just the best draw. Even though they had Ashiok, which is obviously absurd in the mirror, we still got there. Be back for round 3. So one thing that our opponent did that I think is very much worth remembering, and this is in part a memo to myself, is that they mulligan to 5 because this deck mulligans really well. And I think you do generally want to mulligan pretty aggressively. That being said, I think I probably am fine keeping this. We have our roots. We have a Collected Brutality and Founding the Third Path. You know, we have some good stuff. This is a little slow, for sure. But, okay, what are they playing? Well, them not playing anything on turn 1 definitely helps. Swiftwater Cliffs. Okay. All right, let's play our roots. Yeah, next turn we get to go Founding into Collected Brutality and Otherworldly Gaze. Pretty sweet. Ooh, and we get to kill that. That's really nice. Okay. Damn, would have liked to have milled that. It's fine. Okay, how do we want to order this? I guess we want to go... no, we want the Prized Amalgam to be in our graveyard first. So, Founding. Play it on 1. Collected Brutality, all 3 modes. Target opponent, target creature, target opponent. Discard Amalgam. And then are we discarding the Ghoul or discarding the Creeping Chill? It's actually kind of close. I think we still discard the Ghoul. Ooh, okay. They have Incubate 3, draw a card. Oh, all right. We'll take the Flame of Anor. And then Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, as kind of weird as it is, I think we're fine drawing a land here. They have a slow hand, and we can hardcast Creeping Chill, bring back Amalgam, Silver Smoke Ghoul. So I think that's actually kind of what we want to do here. Triggers roots twice. Oh, no. We draw before we mill. I was thinking that maybe this was ruined by Founding. Yeah, we mill here. Now we hit the Creeping Chill anyways. All right, well, you know, it's still not bad to drain them for 3. Although, maybe we actually, in that case, want to double flashback Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah. See, this is why. Because now we hit another Silver Smoke Ghoul. I should have done this before playing my land drop for potential Bloodghast shenanigans. All right, now we hit a Narcomoeba. And yeah, I'm cool drawing Collective Brutality next turn. All right, Narcomoeba comes into play. Insidious Roots triggers. All right, end of turn. Amalgam comes into play. Roots triggers. Amalgam comes into play. Roots triggers. Root trigger. Silver Smote. Root trigger. Oh boy, look at that. That's nice. I mean, I don't think our opponent's deck is like really a deck, but it's fun that they let us have our fun here. Ooh, this is a card I've been wanting to build for a long time. Basically, if you have oh wait, no, sorry, this is the wrong one. There's a different one that I'm excited about. Sure. Let's flash back the glimpse. Okay. Narcomoeba. Make our guys even bigger. Kill this. Drain them. Oh, it tapped the fucking creature. God damn it. Okay. I always forget. It like refuses to tap Otherworldly Gaze. Or sorry, it refuses to attack Mana Confluence, not Otherworldly Gaze, because it takes damage. It like automatically says that we would rather tap a creature for mana than we would like to pay a life. So it's always something I forget about the Arena Auto Tapper. Arena Auto. Oh my God. Arena Auto Tapper. Arena Auto Topo. All right. We certainly have lethal here. Are they? Oh my God. Okay. Is this the third video in a row? I can't remember which order some of these videos are coming out. I think this is the third video in a row where we've had someone do this. At least I'm pretty sure this is what they're doing. Just grow the fuck up. Text 6666. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm going to pause. Be back in a bit. Okay. They finally, their timer ran out. Boom. All right. We beat the crybaby. What are we at now? Is that 2-1? Right? 2-1? 3-1? 2-1? I can never remember. 2-1. All right. Back for round 4. Okay. Playing against Papa Rules. Rules. What do we think of this hand? All right. We're playing against maybe blue-black ninjas is the most likely here. I think this is fine. It's awkward to have 2 Creeping Chills in our hand. It just like means that they're not in our deck, which makes it harder to do some of our things. But I think this is still a keep. You get to mill 13 cards at least. All right, there goes an Amalgam. It's always good to see. All right, yes, we're playing against blue-black ninjas. A deck that I think I've mentioned I think is really good. I might try to build it. I think it's probably pretty well positioned in the meta right now. All right, they have an Ornithopter. Ugh, prized Amalgam. Not what we want to draw. All right, we're going to need to kind of hit. All right, Creeping Chill gets in there. Get a Silver Smoke Ghoul. Get back a prized Amalgam. Okay, that's not bad. Next turn we get a Bloodghast. Ooh, they didn't have any ninjas. All right, they have a Change in the Outcast. Sure. Does this deck play Spell Pierce? Always something to worry about, but is there any reason to founding the third path pre-combat? Or, yeah, pre-combat. No, I don't think so. All right, let's attack. They can't block with the Outcast. All right, they just block the Stitcher Supplier, take 6. Cast the Founding, see if it resolves. They may just Spell Pierce it. Yep, they do. All right. Play Darkslick Shores. Next turn we can just cast this Prized Amalgam, so that's decent. And then, yeah, if we draw another land, we have 2 Creeping Chills in our hand to maybe finish them off. I always find it satisfying winning games with the Dredge deck on hard casting our things. All right, that was not their best draw. They didn't have any like actual ninjas, which is kind of what their deck wants. They also play Retrofitter Foundry. They didn't have that with the Ornithopter and the Chainsaw Outcast. But win's a win. We'll take it. 3-1 on to round 5. Okay, against Ishmael. Yeah, I think this is a keep. On the play, this Roots looks a lot better. Like it feels really slow on the draw, but it feels like just being on the play is just it's just an enormous advantage in this format. Even more than, many formats. It's just like you end up on the play and it feels like cheating sometimes. It's just like every time I'm on the play, it feels like, oh my God, how would we ever lose? We get to go first. All right, they're taking a little time. I'm going to pause. Okay. They kept their 7. I'm going to play a tap breeding pool, pass a turn. Going to play Roots on turn 2. All right. Up against blue-white control. So this is a little interesting. If we want to just run out this collective brutality, I'm leaning towards yes. Let's see what they have. They may reprieve. Oh, they're going to Delvin's veto it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think we're graveyarding all of those. Okay, I don't love our spot here. That not hitting anything or not being able to collective brutality them. And not hitting anything off the otherworldly gaze. We're just kind of pretty far behind. But let's start with milling ourselves for 4. All right. Well, we hit 2 Creeping Chills. Not bad. In that case, I'm going to flash back the otherworldly gaze now, trying to hit some Silver Smoke Ghouls. All right, another Creeping Chill. And we'll put a Glimpse on top. Gonna be tough for us to ever bring back Silver Smoke Ghouls if we do mill them now. All right, they cast a Union to the 3rd path, gain some life. Authority of the Councils. That card's really annoying. I think I want a Brutality here. I have a Glimpse in hand. I think I would rather try to disrupt them. They're at 17. Yeah, we're not gonna win this game by just like aggroing them. Oh Jesus. Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, what do we hit? Creeping Chill. Yeah, there's just no way. They have 4 rats in hand. They gain so much life. I don't know. I don't really know how we could possibly win this. Let's play it out one more turn. We can't even like sack the Silver Smoke Ghouls. We don't have mana up for that, so we can't like draw a card off of them. I mean, they certainly have to Wrath, but they're not even going to Wrath here. They're just going to Divine Purge. which is like way better because now these things don't even go back to the graveyard. We also, all 4 Creeping Chills are gone, so these Silver Smoke Ghouls are never getting back. Well, all right. Glimpsy Unthinkables. How many cards do we have in our library? 29. Okay. They also have a Farewell coming up. What do we hit? Do we hit anything? I mean, we can play Haunted Dead. Does this have to be at a sorcery speed? No, okay. We can Haunted Dead at a turn. That's kind of cool. This Farewell, though, is a problem because they get to exile our graveyard. This deck, or this card, is always so good against me. And they get to kill the Insidious Roots. I mean, I guess let's go for it. Why can't I? There you go. Okay, Haunted Dead comes back. Trigger Insidious Roots. Yeah, I have no idea how we're going to get out of this. I mean, let's use the chance to... Come on. Why? Oh, I'm still in my upkeep. Come on. There you go. I don't know. Put on this. This triggers. They gain a life. I don't know. We get in some damage. But this card means that you just gain a ton of life. And they still have another Wrath even after they cast Farewell. Yeah, I really don't know how this is going to possibly work out, but... How many amalgams do we have? We have 2 in play, 2 in our graveyard. Are all the Narcomoebas gone? 3 of the Narcomoebas are gone. 1 Blood Gas is gone. 2 Silver Smotes. And all the Creeping Chills. Yeah, we don't even have like any creatures left. We only have 18 cards in our graveyard. All right. I think we can pack it up. Unless they're stupid enough to not cast Farewell. Yeah. Okay. Good game. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. Wow. They didn't actually get rid of all the enchantments, but I think that actually makes sense because they have the authority of the councils, and we weren't beating them from there. Yeah, that's a tough matchup, especially if like they keep a hand with 5 Wraths instead of like keeping a hand with 1 Wrath, and then we get to Collective Brutality at like 5 Wraths, and especially 3 exile-based Wraths. Yeah, it's that's tough. Yeah. I think I'm fine keeping this 2 Narcomoebas. And trying to hit a green source for turn 2. Let's see what we're up against. Plains Go. That can still be a lot of things. All right. Prized Amalgam and Creeping Chill. Go 17. Play Insidious Roots. Do they have something for this? Oh, do they have Fragmented Reality? Looks like they do. They do. All right, but we hit a Stitcher Supplier. Ooh, not only do we hit a Stitcher Supplier, we hit a Stitcher Supplier that gets a Narc Amoeba that gets to bring back our prized amalgam. So that worked out fine for us. Oh, okay, so we're actually up against Blue Eye Control again. All right, let's play Founding. This may not resolve. Yeah, they're reprieving it. Guess let's play tapped Water Grave. Yeah, if they just have another Wrath here, this is not ideal. Or not another, but if they have Wrath. I'm trying to think again if there's any reason to not attack first. I don't think there is. So them not having Wrath means that, okay, they have a Shark Typhoon. Sure. Are they going to chump Amalgam or are they going to trade for Narc Amoeba? Chump Amalgam. Makes sense. Okay. So they didn't play Wrath that last turn, but they very easily could have Supreme Verdict instead of Divine Purge, which makes me kind of want to think about like playing 2 Narc Amoebas here, letting them Wrath, and then untapping and doing the Founding the third path, Glimpse the Unthinkable thing. Yeah, I think that works. I mean, they usually won't keep hands without some sort of Wrath, at least in my... All right. Yeah, let's play this Otherworldly Gaze. Prize the Amalgam. Yeah, let's draw the Collective Brutality for sure. I'm going to attack first. One card that's pretty likely for them to have, yeah, is the Wandering Emperor. They exile that. Okay. So we get in for 8. Is this coming back in a turn? I can't remember. All right, so we're going to cast Founding and cast Brutality. Now, do we want to drain them is a question. Like, I do want to play this. The question is, do I discard a Glimpse in order to deal them 2 damage? I don't think that that's worth it. Or how many... we've only 1 Creeping Chills in our graveyard. Or we've only exiled 1 Creeping Chill, so there's a pretty good chance we... Ooh, 1 ring. Okay. Take the charm. There's a pretty good chance we hit a Creeping Chill. Does this target each opponent? Okay, so it doesn't target. Ooh, they cast it to Fairy. That's very odd. They didn't cast the 1 ring? I'm confused. All right, we mill 4 cards. Hit a Creeping Chill. There you go. I would love if there was a card that like more easily like you could mill into and could bring back the Insidious Roots. Like there's no great way to like reanimate an Insidious Roots. Anyways, all right, let's attack everybody at them, and we have lethal. I mean, they have 1 kill spell, we know that, but otherwise we're in good shape. Let's see. Okay, they kill one, and boom. We had lethal. Otherwise, I would have just glimpsed twice, and then we actually could flash back with founding the third path, the Creeping Chill next turn, even if they had Wrath. Wow, I'm surprised we escaped with a win there. Kind of felt like wasn't going great, but I think they just never had a Wrath in hand, which is the whole matchup, whether or not they draw Wraths, especially Divine Purge. If they don't, this is a very, very easy matchup. If they do, this is a very, very hard. So saw the two extremes of them drawing 5 and them drawing none. Yeah, this was not close. Both of them were not close. So be back in a sec. All right, playing against Yeager Josh. We love a Josh. No, this is not a keepable hand. I mean, it has Glimpse, but it doesn't have 2 lands. If it had 2 lands, I probably would keep this, but... This hand kind of sucks, too. Yeah, I'm going to go to 5. All right, this is better. I'm going to put back Prized Amalgam. Or, yeah, Prized Amalgam... and Stitchers, and Collective Brutality number 2. I mean, you know, it's kind of nice to have the... I mean, I could put back... Well, they went to 5, so Collective Brutality is probably pretty decent here. I could keep the Prize Amalgam in hand to discard to the Brutality, but I think that's fine. All right. Is there any reason we want to Otherworldly Gaze instead of Stitcher Supplier? No, I think I want a Stitcher Supplier. The other thing is that next turn, potentially, we could like Collective Brutality and kill our own Supplier to mill 3 more. Let's stop on my upkeep just in case. What do they have? Nothing. Ooh. All right. I'm going to take a slower route. Our hand plays well in a slightly slower game, and they are on mull to 5, so I think we have time to try to play the slower but more powerful plan. All right, they have a Laelia. Cool. I always wish this card saw more play. It's just a little slow for the format, but I mean, it's a good card. Okay. That would have been nice. Okay. Well, I guess we can just discard it here. So let's... Oh, I should have attacked first because I think I'm going to Brutality... duress them and kill my own Supplier. Actually, you know what? I'm going to Brutality, duress them, and drain them. Because I can block the Laelia with Supplier. All right, take a Molten Impact. This is a digital-only card. It's kind of a sweet one. All right, this turn we are going to want to Otherworldly Gaze on upkeep. All right, we mill 3. Creeping Chill. They hit a Fable, so that's pretty good for them. They get to cast that. All right, upkeep, cast Otherworldly Gaze. We don't have another blue spell or a blue land. Do we have any Bloodghasts in graveyard? We do not. All right, I think we're just milling all 3. You know what? I think we're going to keep the Botanical Sanctum because that lets us cast one of these otherworldly gazes. All right, so Founding resolves. Do we hit nothing again? Wow, we are not hitting very well. Oof. All right. Put a Bloodghast back. I'm going to put one of the glimpses in the graveyard so we can flash it back with Founding. Although we're about to take 6 damage, I guess. I guess we're still fine, but we're getting less fine. I mean, we had this game absolutely on lock, but we haven't actually milled very well, so... they are beating us down pretty well. But these roots, once we get this stuff going, we're going to have a ton of blockers. All right. Oh, no. Ugh. I fucking misclicked. Ugh. Wow. Brutal. All right. Well, let's hope this hits. All right. It looks like we got some action. That was bad. I just clicked the wrong... I clicked Brutality instead of Glimpse by accident. Okay. I think we're still fine here. Luckily, we hit a Narcomoeba, but that's what we kind of needed to do. Yeah. All right. Well, we're still all good. We still made plenty of creatures. I'm not really sure what they could even have here. I mean, something like Ritual of Soot as a Wrath could, do some work, although we're still probably favored in that game because they kill all their own stuff. All right, they Molten Impact, and then they're probably going to Molten Impact something else. So this gets basically like the excess damage gets cast the next time you cast this sorcery. So they're able to save it up to cast kill the big one. All right, so this is a 6/6. Do we want to eat it? We trade a plant for it, the biggest plant we have, or just chump it with a Narcomoeba? Yeah, let's just chump. I think I'd rather just get our beat down on. All right, we do have a Bloodghast in the graveyard, so land is a pretty decent draw here. Silver Smote, definitely putting the Narcomoeba. I'll draw the Glimpse, I think. Maybe we just want to mill the Glimpse and just hope to get a land, because honestly, triggering Bloodghast is probably the best thing we can do here. Yeah, all right, Narcomoeba triggers, we get a ton of damage in, and we're going to attack for a bajillion. Sweet. I really liked the roots in this deck. I got to say, it is really super powered supercharged up the Dredge. Like, it makes the Dredge slightly slower. Like in that game, maybe in a more traditional build, we would have started doing our Dredge stuff a little bit sooner. But like once we did our Dredge thing, we had so much power on play, and it's untapped. Whereas like all these Prized Amalgam Silver Smokefuls come into play tapped, and the Bloodghasts can't block. So having all of this like these untapped creatures makes it so like in this scenario, we don't have to, like, we're completely stabilized and aren't worried at all about all of their stuff. So yeah, I've been liking it so far. I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, basically my thought was like, is it just completely win more? Like, is it because you only get to start triggering Insidious Roots when you're already doing your Dredge thing effectively. But I think that you don't need to be going that crazy, and B, like sometimes the Dredge stuff isn't really powerful enough. So I like it. And I think the mana's been fine. Like you get to play like otherworldly gaze. You get to mulligan aggressively, um, such that you can make it work. And maybe it's worth trying to get Wonder in. I mean, it hasn't mattered yet, but it might. Okay. What do we think of this hand? Um, it has roots. What are we playing against? All right, looks like we're playing against blue-red Prowess. So it's not an explosive draw because it only has one Dredger. But we have roots, and we have turn 1 gaze, turn 2 roots, turn 3 flashback otherworldly gaze at the very least. Plus gaze can find us some better dredgers. I like it. All right, Soulscar Mage is their least intimidating. 1 drop, ugh, 2 prized amalgams. Annoying. All right, play Sanctum. Yeah, having 5 or 4 creatures in our hand that we want to hit off of dredgers is never great, but let's see what happens here. There's something to be said for like waiting on casting this otherworldly gaze, but we only have 1 blue source, so I don't think it makes sense. Like basically, like the reason we might want to do that is in case we hit our Narcomoeba. 1 second. To like make sure we actually get the roots trigger. But let's see. All right, they're leaving up a mana, so I'm wondering if maybe they have a Spell Pierce. Yeah, here's a good example. And the prized amalgams in the graveyards, too. All right, so if we draw a land, one thing we are going to definitely do is when we play our land, we're going to decline to bring Bloodghast back because, yeah, we did draw a land. We know we're going to be able to trigger it next turn, and that way we get our Insidious Roots trigger. Unless, yeah, they don't have the Spell Pierce, so. No attacks, I don't think. Yeah, no attacks. All right, so next turn, what do we want to do? We can flashback gaze, or we can start hard casting these cards. All right, they have a Dreadhorde Arcanist without much to do with it. All right, I'm happy taking 1. Yeah, I think. Ooh, Collective Brutality. Oh, yeah. That's fucking amazing. Wow, okay. Do all 3 modes. Target opponent, target a creature, target an opponent. Now we get to discard prized amalgam. Oh my god, this is a fucking crazy draw. Holy shit. Kill their creature, take something from their hand, discard both amalgams. Now we get to bring back Bloodghast, trigger both. All right, they have a Spell Pierce. Like, okay, so we don't get to kill the Soulscar Mage or drain them, but we still got the 2 amalgams in our graveyard, which is honestly like 3/4 of what was good here. Am I in attack mode? I think I am. Yep, all right. Whew. Put our stop. And now we can start potentially tapping these things to do more stuff every turn. Now we have access to a lot of mana. Interesting. I wonder if they chose not to Spell Pierce Insidious Roots. Like, they seemed like they had it, and then they they did eventually have it. I'm wondering, yeah, was that them choosing not to cast it on roots? Because if that's the case, that's a pretty big mistake. All right, looks like they have a removal spell and they're trying to decide what to kill. All right, they hit the plant because Soul Scarlet Mage's second ability, actually, or the non-prowess ability, is actually pretty relevant sometimes. Lets them shrink this down to a 0/1. Okay, they're gonna shove aside what, the other one. All right, fair enough. So we're gonna jump. Maybe just take. How much do we care about having an extra mana next turn? Because this plant does tap for. You know what? I think I'm fine taking 6 here. They only have 1 card in hand. We're at 14. I am gonna cast this on upkeep. Let's see. What are we gonna do this turn? I think I'm fine putting Otherworldly Gaze and Mana Confluence away. Do I want to draw Stitcher Supplier? Yeah, I think that's better than a random card. Let's see what we hit. All right. Nothing really. All right. So definitely attacking with Bloodghast, probably attacking with Narcomoeba. Do you want to get in with 1 Prized Amalgam? I could get in with both Prized Amalgams. 6, 8, 9. Yeah, let's just start beating down. What am I doing? Put them to 5. We have a chump blocker. They're not beating us down. I'm being too scared to get. They don't have any way to give this trample yet. Like they'd have to have a ball more, and if they have ball more, they're not going to be able to cast that many more spells. So they'd have to like land, ball more, removal spell, kill both of our things. Even that doesn't do it. Here's the ball more. Does give this trample, but all right. Consider, I'm going to chump block here. We still have lethal, even if the Stitcher Supplier is dead, but milling 3 is, or it's not, I mean, it does basically nothing in terms of blocking, saves one point of damage, but we're happy to get the free mill 3. All right, yeah, we hit a Creeping Chill. Yeah, they got a 2, and they are very dead. Sweet. All right, man, Roots is really overperforming. That's awesome. So I think we're at 6-2 now. We almost lost that that game at 2-2, right? The blue-white control matchup. Almost were out of the tournament already, but now we get to play do or die, winning in for the trophy. But we already cashed the event. Can offer our opponent a prize split. Prowess. I like their avatar. I forget what that guy's name is. All right. So what do we have? Yeah, I think there's a keep. I'm really liking every hand with Roots in it. Okay. Same thing here with the Roots and the Bloodghast. Oof. All right. That's not ideal for us, but oh well. We'll take the Roots. We'll cast Otherworldly Gaze. Ooh, nice. Okay, well. I'm going to get rid of this. I guess there's... Just trying to think of, like, if we just draw Founding, We can't really use both. So what we could do is graveyard the glimpse, next turn cast founding, mill 4, and then glimpse, and then turn after that flashback glimpse. Or we can just glimpse right away. This mills 14 cards, this mills 10. I think let's just get the glimpse. Let's try to go a little quickly. We're playing against a black control deck, probably. Like mono black control. Ooh, Waste Not. I've been messing around with this card, trying to build Waste Not, and it is fucking terrible. I cannot make it work. Maybe our opponent has figured out something. Waste Not also very much not at its best against the Dredge deck that actively wants to discard all of its cards. All right. A bummer about not getting the roots in play, though. Hey, I don't think that Mono Black doesn't usually... Ooh, they have a Meat Hook Massacre. I was going to say they don't usually play a lot of Wraths, but they had one. Let's glimpse again, like we glimpsed last summer. Narcomoeba, Creeping Chill, attack. Bring back the Silver Smotes. Sweet. Yeah, they're going to need another Wrath pretty quickly. We do still have all Ds. One ring. Okay. What? Why did it not stop on my... The fuck? It did not do the thing. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll end the turn. We have Otherworldly Gaze at the end of the turn, or if we need to, if they like Wrath, we could maybe sacrifice the Silver Smoke Ghoul to draw a card. Do we still have a Bloodghast in the graveyard? Yeah, we do. All right, Shieldred resolves. Or aren't they just dead? Yeah, they're just dead. What am I tanking about once again? Sweet. All right. Well, we got the trophy with our sick Dredge deck here. I was really happy with it. And also, that is a very fun deck to play. Insidious Roots, when it got spoiled, I was like, wow, this card is really fun. And it sure has been. It absolutely lived up to my expectations for it. Let's see what packs we won. All right, Core Set 2019, Guilds of Ravnica, and Kaladesh. All right, let's do a quick pack cracking stream. Metallurgic Summons, boo. All right, give me a dual land. I actually need some of the dual land still. Damn, Expansion Explosion. I think I've only ever pulled one. I think that they make it so that that's my conspiracy theory. They make it so that it's really hard to actually get the good cards when you crack these packs. Got a Mythic wild card, which is nice. I have 2 rares and 14 Mythics. I've spent a lot of my rares and Mythics lately completing some of these decks. I didn't have Narcomoebas, for example, which are annoyingly a rare in this on Arena. Anywho, I'm not going to do the like post-mortem that I've done with some of the other decks because this one, this is the first time I've ever played it. I was just trying it out live here, so I don't have a lot to say about deck choices. You know, I think I kind of covered the ideas of like, one thing I will mention is that what I was talking about with the Bloodghasts and whether or not they were worth it. You know, I'm still kind of on the fence. I do think that they're a little awkward because there's a lot of times you just don't have that land drop to get them back. They're not that powerful, but they do trigger Prized Amalgam. They trigger Insidious Roots, so they're probably still worth playing too. In terms of the wonder, you know, I didn't feel like we were getting chump blocked a lot. I mean, that was just one tournament, right? One league. There are plenty of leagues where, if we played against elves 4 times, where it would look a lot better. But with the amount of blue-red prowess, the more painful mana base is definitely a cost to pay. Like if we're playing 8 shock lands and 4 mana confluences, that's a lot of damage to take. So, not sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments if anybody else has tried this out and how you feel about it. And yeah, I will be back for another video. Thanks for watching.